So this is my console. So now here, what you have to do, you have to search for Bedrock. So let me search. So see, Amazon Bedrock. And this is the service, actually the easiest way to build and scale generative AI application with the foundation model. So let me open up the Bedrock. Now I'll just click on get started. See, if you're opening for the first time this Bedrock, what you have to do, you have to request for the model access. So there is a button you will see, request model access. Just try to click here and see, for me, I already requested the model. Okay, for me, I already requested the model and I got the access. You can see some of the model actually they didn't given me the access. For this, what I have to do, I have to again, let's say resubmit the access request. Then I think I might get. But for you, what you will do, you will select all the model and try to send the request. Okay, send the request. You will see that in 5 to 10 minutes, actually, they will provide the access. Got it? And make sure you check your region, actually, in which region actually you are sending the request. Okay, because that in that region, actually, your model will be available. So I'm currently inside AP South 1, that means Asia Pacific, Mumbai. Okay. So now if I go to any other region, let me show you. So if I, let's say, go to North Virginia, so there you will be able to see I don't have any access of any model. Now see, it will show you this kinds of window, enable all model. Okay, now if I click here, now just select all the model and try to click on the next. Okay, now you have to submit the request. Okay, you have to submit the request. So let's submit the request. Sometimes actually they will ask for some information. So you also need to, let's say, submit some information. Let's say your name, email address. Okay, then you can send the request. After sending the request, in 5 to 10 minutes, you will see that they will give you the model access. So guys, you can see after sending the request, actually I got the access. You can see granted access. And some of the model you can see it is still in progress. So I think it will take some time to give me the access. Okay, so that's how actually you can apply for the access. So once you got the access, that means congratulations. Now you can start with the Bedrock services. That means now you got all the, let's say, access of the foundation model. Now let me get back to my that region, actually Mumbai region. Now see, this is your Bedrock interface. If I click on the overview, now you are having different foundation model here. And what is foundation model? I already told you these are large language model, and different companies also has collaborated with the AWS. Even they have also published their model. Like you can see, Amazon is having their own model. Apart from that, Cloudy has like updated their model. Then Cohere, Llama, Mistral. Okay, so you can see all the provider. Okay, all the provider, they have collaborated with the AWS and they hosted their model on the AWS. That means AWS Bedrock. Okay, now what you can do, you can access this the model through API. Got it? So you don't need to download this at the model in your system. That is the main advantage here. Now you can also play with the playground. Let's say if I click on the chat, so here is the chat, guys. So you can select the model. Let's say I want to select this model. Let's say I'll select this Llama 3 8 billion instruct model. Now if I send any request, let's say hello. Let's say this is my prompt. Now see, it is giving me the answer. So that's how actually it is having different kinds of playground, text playground, chat playground, image playground, because it is also having multi-model as well. So you can see here different model. Let's say you want to use this Amazon model. So just try to click here. See all kinds of Amazon model you will be able to see. It is having Titan text G1 Lite, Titan text G1 Express. Okay, Titan image generator, then Titan multi-model embeddings. Now if you want to use, let's say, this model, what you can do, you need to just copy the model ID. So this is the model ID, and with the help of model ID you can use it. Similar wise for the Meta also, let's say you want to access Llama. Okay, Llama model you can see. So for this you have to use this model ID. Okay, even from here also you can directly open in the playground, and you can also play with these at the model. Even if you go to the example section, they have given different example. Even you can also copy these at the code and you can execute in your system. Now let's click on the base model. You can see different kinds of base model it is also having. Even if you want to train your custom model, it is also possible. Just go to the custom model. You can also perform the fine-tuning operation. So from the UI itself, you can do the fine-tuning operation. Even let's say after fine-tuning, you can also keep your model here, okay, in the custom model section, so that you can load this model as an API. Okay, every functionality actually this Bedrock will give you, so you can use them. So yes, this is the overview of our Amazon Bedrock. That means it's a platform. It's a LLMOps platform. Here we are having different kinds of foundation model. Even all the functionality it is also provides. With the help of these are the functionality you can create any kinds of GenAI based application. So in the next video, what we'll do, guys, we'll just try to do the hands-on on this AWS Bedrock. That means we'll be accessing these are the foundation model through the Python. Okay, Python code. This video will be learning how we can, let's say, access this kinds of foundation model with our Python code. That means we'll be setting everything in our local machine. I will be writing everything from our VS Code. Okay, so what I will do, guys, I'll open up my local folder, and here I've already created one empty folder. Let me open up my VS Code. Okay, so I'm also going to open up my terminal here, and make sure you create one environment. So for me, I already created one environment. So let me activate. So conda activate LLM app. I think you remember this environment we created previously. So I'm using the same environment here, and you can see the Python version I'm using. It's 3.10. So you can use 3.9, 3.8. It's up to you. Okay, here the first thing you have to set up the requirements. So let me create a file called requirements.txt. Inside that, let me mention all the requirements actually I need. So I need the LangChain. Then I also need Streamlit because I'm going to create a small, let's say, user interface here. And I need two more library, Boto3 and Python.env. Python.env, I think you know why we need it, because we're going to create one .env file. Okay, .env file. So inside that, you have to mention the your secret credential. That means we'll be generating access key, AWS access key, and AWS secret access key. With the help of that, we'll be authenticating with our AWS account. Got it? So we'll be keeping these are the key inside this .env file, and to load it, I need this Python.env. And what is Boto3C? With the help of Boto3 Python package, will be making the connection with our AWS. Okay, so this library will give you the functionality. You can connect with your AWS. Now let me set up everything in my environment. So I'll open it up and just write pip install requirement.txt. Okay, for me it is already installed. For you, it will take some time. Now the next thing what I have to do, guys, I have to create a IAM user. So let's go to my AWS. I'll go to the home page, and here you will see, or you can also search IAM. Okay, Identity Access Management, because I have to create a user, and there actually I will only give the permission related my Bedrock. Now click on the user. Now just create a user here. I'll give, let's say, Bedrock test attach policy. Now search for Bedrock. I want to give the Bedrock, Amazon Bedrock full access. Now click on the next and create the user. Then after that, I will click on Bedrock test and go to the security credential. And here you will get one option, create access key. Just try to click here. Select command line interface. I understand, and click on the next. Now create the access key. Now, so guys, this is your access key and this is your secret access key. Now you can also download as a CSV file. Let me download. Now I have to configure it. So for this, you have to install one tool actually. So just search for AWS CLI. Okay, AWS CLI. This is the first website you can open. So for all the operating system, they have mentioned, okay, how we can install it. For Linux, Mac OS, okay, see, Linux, you have to execute some of the command. These are the command you have to execute. For Mac OS also, you have to execute some of the command. And for Windows, you are having one MSI file. So you can directly download this MSI file, and you can install, okay, as a software. That means the way you usually install any software. Now next install, you have to do the same thing. After doing it, let me cancel it because I already have. After doing it, just try to open up your terminal, okay, and execute this command, AWS configure. AWS configure. Now see, if I execute, it should give you this kinds of window. If you're getting this kinds of window, that means your installation is fine. Now what I have to do, guys, I have to set these at the access key. Now let's try to copy the access key. Open the terminal, and it is asking for the access key. Just try to paste. Just right click, it will paste, and press enter. Then you have to give the secret access key. Just try to copy. This is my secret access key, and I will paste it here. And don't share, guys, this key with anyone. Otherwise, they will be also accessing your account. I will delete it after the recording. And now it is asking for the region. Now you can see which region you are in. I'm inside Mumbai. That means AP South 1. So I have to give the region. So you just check which region you are working on. Based on that, you can decide. So AP South 1. Now default output format, just keep it empty. Press enter. That's it. See, my credential has been set. So this was the first method. And the second method, what you can do, you can, I think you remember we created this .env file. So here inside .env file also you can mention. So let me show you. So inside that you can mention AWS access key ID, secret key ID, and region name. So let me replace all of the secret key again. This is my access key ID. And this is my secret access key. And AP South one, it's fine. Now let me save. Now here I'm going to create a file. I'll name it as main.py. Inside that I'm going to do the coding. So here, first of all, let's import some libraries. So these are the library I need. Let me select my environment. LLM app I'm using. Now here you can see, guys, I'm importing Bedrock from LangChain. LangChain.llm's Bedrock. I'm importing Bedrock. Then LLM chain, then prompt template, Boto3, and Streamlit. Okay. Then I need another package, this one actually, .env, because I want to load these at the credential. And how to load, guys, I think you remembered. So you have to use this code snippet. So load env, and you also need operating system. With the help of operating system, we'll be loading these are the key, okay, from the environment variable. Now here it will store everything. Now, if I want to initialize Bedrock client, so I have to use Boto3. So this is the syntax. If you go to the documentation, you will see that they're using this syntax. Bedrock client, you have to make a Bedrock client. The Boto3 client, you have to mention the service name. I want to use Bedrock. Okay, Bedrock services. That's why I've given Bedrock runtime. You have to give the region, AWS access key ID, and secret key ID. So with the help of that, it will authenticate with your account. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, the next thing, you have to give the model ID, like which model you want to access. I'll give the model ID is equal to, let's say I want to use one foundation model. Let's say I want to use this Mistral model. I'll click on Mistral. Now you can see Mistral having different variants, 7B, 8X, 7B, then Mistral large. Now let's say I want to use 7B instruct. So what I will do, I'll copy this model ID. So that's how, just try to open any kinds of model and copy the model ID. And here you just need to mention it. That's it. Okay, so it will automatically load this model. Now let's create our LLM wrapper. So inside Bedrock, you have to give the model ID. Okay, and here you have to give the Bedrock client. Okay, client is equal to Bedrock. Fine. And this is the temperature parameter. That means the creativity parameter. I think you already know. Now here I'm going to create a function. So this function will take the input from the user, like in which language they want to, let's say, get the output, and what is the input prompt. Okay, so this function will take this input. You can see language as well as the user text. Then it is create. Then inside that I'm creating a prompt template. I think you know what is prompt template, right? So this is the input variable, language and user text, and I'm creating a prompt template. You are a chatbot and you are in this language and this user text. Now based on that, you have to give me the response. Now here I'm creating a LLM chain and I'm passing my LLM as well as the prompt. And finally, I'm passing my language as well as the user input to my Bedrock chain. That means the chain I actually have created. Okay, because inside that I'm having my large language model as well as the prompt. And whatever response I'm getting, I'm just returning. That's it. Now let me create a Streamlit title. Streamlit, let's say user interface, Bedrock chatbot demo. Now user will also able to give the language. So let's say here I'll take a language input from the user. Whether he want to get English response, Spanish response, or Hindi response, you can. So here you can also pass any other language. It will also work, because I think you know these kinds of large language model can also support multi-language. Then this is my final logic. So if language is there, so they will give the input. That means what kinds of question they want to ask. Then once they have, let's say, given the prompt, this particular prompt I'm checking, first of all, this they have given the prompt or not. If they have given, I'm passing it to my chatbot. You can see this function. So it will take the language as well as the user input. Language and user input, and whatever response actually I'm getting, I'm writing in my Streamlit application. Now let me execute and let me show you. I'll save it. Now simply I'll just open up my terminal, and this is the command Streamlit run main.py. So this is the interface, guys. Now you can select the language. Let's say I want to select the English. Now here I can ask any query. Let's say, what is Python? Now you just need to press shift. You just need to press Ctrl and Enter. So guys, as you can see, if you give any kinds of prompt, now here is the response. So here I've given what is Python, and here is the response I got. Now I can ask any kinds of query. Let's say I will ask, give me a Python code to add two numbers. See here, I got the Python code to add the two numbers. Okay, so that's how you can pass any kinds of prompt and you can get the response. It's amazing, guys. And here we're using Mistral model. Okay, Mistral model we are using. Okay, and it is present inside Bedrock platform. That's why this inference time is very low. You will see that I'm getting very fast response. But whenever I was using Mistral model, I think you remember in Hugging Face. Okay, Hugging Face Hub. So there I had to download this model in my system, and the execution time was like very slow there. Yes or no, right? So that's why we have to use this kinds of LLMOps platform if I'm implementing any kinds of project, efficient project, okay, in the industry. So yes, guys, now you can explore different kinds of model, different kinds of like foundation model. You can also explore Cohere model, meta model, anything you can explore. Only just need to keep the model ID and everything you can access. Got it? So yes, guys, I hope it is clear now how we can use this Bedrock platform. And if you want to get this kinds of content more, so please try to support our channel. So please try to subscribe to the channel, try to share these kinds of content with your friends and family so that they can also get to know, okay, this kinds of session is going on. So please try to support the channel, guys. Try to like the video, try to subscribe to the channel. You can subscribe to the Code Commander channel. Even you can also subscribe to my channel, DS with Bappy. Okay, both channel actually I'm operating. You will see that in both channel I'm creating lots of content related data science, machine learning, generative AI, ML ops, okay, end-to-end project implementation, okay, everything I'm creating the content. If you don't know what is AWS Bedrock, AWS Bedrock is a platform from Amazon Web Service. We can use this particular AWS Bedrock to create scalable generative AI application with the help of large language model. So if you want to use this particular platform, Amazon Bedrock, so you should have one AWS account. So for me, I already have the account. So if you don't have any account, so please try to create one AWS account. Then you will be able to access this particular platform. Now, if you can't see this particular service here, so what you can do, you can search here called Bedrock. Okay, if you just search for Bedrock, so you will get this particular service called Amazon Bedrock. Now let's try to click here. So it will launch this particular platform for you. See, guys, so this is the Amazon Bedrock platform, and this is the easiest way to build and scale generative AI application with the help of foundation model. So it is having lots of foundation model. I'll tell you what are the models actually it is having. So it has one beautiful documentation. You can go through this particular documentation, like what it can perform and all. So you can perform text generation. You can also create chatbots. You can also perform the search operation, text summarization, image generation, and personalization. Okay, so this many tasks actually you can perform here. And these are the actually foundation model. So it is having, let's say, lots of model. It is having Jurassic 2 model, Cloudy model, Command, Stable Diffusion, and Amazon Titan. And you have another model called Llama 2. Okay, Llama 2 is a model actually from Meta AI. So this is one of the like very popular and powerful model. Okay, you can use. So in this particular project, actually, I'm going to use this particular Llama 2 model. Okay, and I will also use any other model to show you like how we can access this particular Bedrock model. Okay, from the Bedrock platform. Now what you have to do, you have to click on this particular get started button. So if you just click on the get started button, okay, so initially it will tell you just try to request for the model. Okay, request to access all the model. Because if you're using for the first time, you have to send a request like to access all the model. Okay, so I already made the request and I already got the permission, and I can access all the model, okay, from this particular platform. Now guys, as you can see, so in the overview section, so these are the models are available. Now let's say if you want to use this particular model, Jurassic 2 model, just click on this particular model. Now if you see, Jurassic model is having different variant. Okay, so it is having Jurassic 2 Ultra, and it is having another model called Jurassic 2 Mid. Okay, you can either use this Mid model, either you can use this Ultra model. Okay, so similar wise, if you are using, let's say, Amazon, okay, so it is having different model. So it is having, let's say, Amazon this Titan embedding G1 text model. So this is the embedding model. Then it is having Titan text G1 model, light model. Then Titan text G1 express model. Okay, that's how it is having different model. Even it is also having Titan image generation model. Okay, that's how actually, let's say if I click on Meta, okay, that means Llama 2. So it is having different variant of the model Llama 2. So it is having Llama 2 chat 13 billion model. It is having Llama 2 chat 70 billion model. Even it is also having Llama 2 13 billion model and 70 billion model. Okay, so these are the pre-trained model and these are the chat model. Let's say if you want to perform question answering and chat operation, you have to use these are the model. And let's say if you want to only generate, let's say, a text, and if you want to, let's say, do the sentence completion, at that time you can go with this particular model. Okay, so that's how actually it is having different model. Okay, based on the base model actually you can see here. So again, I will go to the overview. Now you can see I already showed you the foundation model. Now it can perform different tasks. I already showed you. Let's say you want to do any example. So you just go to the example section. Now here you can select what kinds of tasks actually you want to perform. So here you can see different tasks. Even it is also having the playground. Let's say I will open this particular playground. Okay, so playground, I want to perform, let's chat operation. So now here what I have to do, first of all, I have to select the model I want to use. So let's say I will be using this particular model called Jurassic to mid model. So I'll select this particular model and apply. Okay, after that, I will get this kinds of interface. Now here you can give any kinds of prompt. Let's say if I give hello. So here, let's say if I send hello, okay, to this particular model, so it will give me the response. See, it is also responding like, hello, how are you? How I can help you today? That's how actually you can also change the temperature parameter, topic parameter. Okay, so these are the parameter you can change. So what is the temperature parameter? Temperature parameter is a creativity actually parameter. So let's say if this temperature parameter is like, let's say close to 0, that means you are telling your model to be stick. Okay, it won't be taking any risk. And if you are setting this parameter to close to 1, that means you are like telling your model just take any risk. Okay, and try to give a creative output. So that's actually you can change these other parameters. So by default you can, so by default just keep this default parameter only. Now you can give any kinds of prompt here. Okay, it will respond with respect to that only. Now guys, this is for the playground. Okay, but whenever I will be creating the application, I'm not going to use this particular model like that. So I have to use this particular model, okay, with the help of this Python programming language. So with the help of Python client, actually we'll be accessing this particular model. But how to access this particular model, because this model is already available in the AWS. Okay, so how to authenticate with this particular account? So for this, first of all, you have to create one IAM user. Okay, so first of all, let me create one IAM user, and let me like add this particular secret key and access key. Then I'll tell you how we can access this particular uh, foundation model, okay, from the AWS Bedrock. So guys, as I already told you, to authenticate with this particular AWS, and if you want to access this particular Bedrock services and all, so you have to first of all create one IAM user, and you have to collect that particular access key and secret access key. Okay, then you have to configure that. So for this, you have to search for this particular service called IAM. Okay, that means Identity Access Management. Now here I'll go to the first option, IAM. Now left hand side, you can see there is a user option. Okay, let's click on the user. Now here I'll be creating one user, create user. Just give the name. So here is, let's say I'm doing a Bedrock project. So I'll just give it as Bedrock user. Okay, then I'll just click on next. Then I will be adding the policies directly. So here you need to select this particular option. Now here you have to search for the Bedrock service, okay? Because I want to only give the Bedrock access, okay? Not the entire service access, okay, from my AWS account. Now here if you see Amazon Bedrock full access, okay? So I'll select the first option, then click on next. Then once it is done, I will just create the user. Now my user has created. Now I'll go to the user. I'll go to the security credential, and here you will see something called create access key, okay? Let's click on the create access key. Now I'll select on the command line interface, then I understand the above recommendation, then click on the next. Then once it is done, I will create the access key. Okay, now see guys, this is my access key and this is the secret access key. And don't share this particular credential with anyone else, otherwise they will also able to access your account. Okay, I'm sharing because I'm going to delete this particular user after the recording. Okay, that's why I'm showing. Now what I have to do, I have to download this thing as a CSV file. So click on this particular button. Okay, it will download as a CSV file. Okay, see, I've already downloaded. Now if you want to authenticate, okay, if you have to authenticate with your actually code. So what you have to do, first of all, you have to install one tool, okay, called AWS CLI, okay, AWS CLI download. Just search on Google AWS CLI download. So this is the website actually will get, and you have to install this particular tool. Now you have different operating system. Let's say if you're using Windows, so you will get one MSI file. Okay, as you can see, this is a MSI file. So try to download this particular MSI file and try to install it the way actually you do install any regular software. Okay, then if you're using any Mac OS or let's say Linux operating system, you can follow these are the command to install this particular AWS CLI. So here I'm using Windows machine, so I already downloaded this particular MSI file. Okay, let me show you. So this is the MSI file. So inside Windows, so this is the MSI file. If I click here, so it will start download. See guys, it will start download. Okay, now I will cancel it. Okay, after downloading, you have just need to double click and you have to install as a regular software. Okay, then once it is done, then I will open up my terminal. So first of all, let me open up my local folder. Okay, so this is my local folder. So here I'm going to open up my terminal. Okay, but before that, let me create one folder here. So inside that, I'm going to do my project. So here I'm going to name this particular folder as generative AI application. Okay, generative AI. Generative AI project. Okay, Bedrock. Let's say this is the name. Now inside that, I'll open up my terminal. Okay, so let's open up my terminal. Yeah. So now here, what you have to do, first of all, you have to test this particular AWS CLI, whether it has downloaded successfully or not. So for this, you just need to execute this particular command called AWS, okay, configure. So if you execute this particular command, so it will give you this kinds of interface. See, it will give you this kinds of interface. And if it is not giving this kinds of interface, if it is throwing any kinds of error, that means you are not able to install successfully. Okay, you have to install it successfully. So for me, I already installed successfully. That's why I'm getting this particular option. Now here you have to provide that particular credential. Okay, that AWS secret key ID you have downloaded. Now let's go back to the CSV file I have downloaded. So this is the CSV file. Let me open it up. So guys, I already opened up this particular file with the help of my Notepad++. Now, as you can see, this is the access key ID. Now you have to copy before the comma, because this is the comma separated. This is a CSV file. So I'll copy this particular credential and I'm going to open up my terminal and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so just right click and paste it. Okay, so it hasn't copy yet, I think. So I'll copy again. I'll open up the terminal and let me remove. Now I'm going to paste. Okay, now see, if you right click, it will paste. Now if you hit enter, it will automatically save. Okay, now you have to also set for the AWS secret access key. Okay, so this is the secret access key. So copy before the comma and again open up the terminal and paste it here. Okay, then it is telling select the region. Okay, so make sure you are checking the region currently, which region you are in. So for this, just go to the home. Okay, AWS home. So here you actually will see that particular region. Okay, see, now currently I'm inside North Virginia. That means US East 1. Okay, but if you're in any other region, you have to select this particular name. Let's say you are inside Asia Pacific, that means Mumbai, you have to write AP South 1 that time. But I'm inside US East 1, okay, that means North Virginia. So I'm going to write US East 1 here. So I'll be opening the terminal and here you just need to write in the same way US East 1. Okay, now I'll press enter. Now you have to keep it as default, press enter. Now see, all the credentials has been set. Now I can easily authenticate with my Bedrock, okay, Bedrock platform with the help of this particular terminal. Okay, now what I have to do, so let me open up my folder, the project folder I have created. Now inside that I'm going to open up my VS Code. Okay, so let's open the VS Code. So here let me write down all the steps so that you can refer later on also. In the readme file I'll add everything. So here let me close it. Now first of all I'll create a file called readme. Okay, readme.md. So here first of all let me give the project name. So this is end-to-end. Okay, end-to-end generative AI project. Okay, using AWS Bedrock. Okay, so this is the title of my project. Now inside that I'm going to write the step. Okay, you have to perform to set up this particular project. So first of all you have to create one virtual environment. So I already written, so let me just give it here. So these are the steps I have to perform. Okay, if I want to execute this particular project, so first of all I have to create one. Okay, I have to create one virtual environment. So let's give the name. So this is, let's say, Bedrock project. Okay, so Bedrock. Okay, Bedrock project. Bedrock project. Now you have to activate this particular Bedrock environment. Okay, you have created, and make sure you are using Python 3.8. You can also use more than Python 3.8. It's completely fine. Then you have to install the requirements, because I'm going to write some requirements. Okay, for this particular project, you also need to install them. Then I already told you have to download this particular AWS CLI. Okay, and this is the link I have already given. Then you have to set up it. Okay, after setuping, you have to configure that and add all the credential. Okay, so these are the steps actually you have to perform. Then what I will do, I'll quickly create some of the folders and file here. So first of all, I'm going to create a folder called research. Okay, research. Inside research, I'm going to create one file called trials. Okay, I can write Bedrock trials. Okay, Bedrock underscore trials dot file. Then outside I'll be creating another file called main.py. Okay, then I'm going to create a requirements file, requirements, okay, .txt. Yeah, so as of now I need these are the folders and file. If you want to add like git ignore and license file, you can add it if you want to commit this particular code in the GitHub, but I'm not going to commit. Okay, so that's why I only need these are the files and folder. Now first of all, let's add all the requirements actually I need for this particular project. So first of all, let me show you what are the tools and technology I'm going to use. So for this, I'm going to open up my Blackboard. So here, I'm going to use some of the tools. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to use LangChain. Okay. I think you already know what is LangChain. LangChain is a generative AI framework. Okay. So we can use this particular LangChain to create generative AI application. Okay. So it is having different functionality. So it will help you to create that particular application. Okay. So then second, I need something called PyPDF. Okay. PyPDF. Why I need PyPDF? Because I'm going to upload my PDF data. Okay. And from there, actually, I'm going to do the retriever operation. Okay. That means query operation. I'll tell you like what kinds of application we're building. Okay. So we'll be building something called RAG application. So there actually we'll be creating one knowledge base. Okay. With the help of custom data actually I'm giving. So that's why my data source would be PDF data. You can also use docs data or TXT data. It's completely fine, but I'm going to use PDF data here. So I'm going to like also show you the architecture. Okay. Architecture of this particular project, like how everything will work. But before that, let me write down the tools and technology I'm going to use in this particular project. Then I'm going to use something called Streamlit. Okay. Streamlit. So Streamlit I'm going to use to create the user app. Okay. Because I'm going to create a user app. So that actually user will get some interface to use your application. So for this, I'm going to use Streamlit. You can also use Flask, okay, First API or any other, let's say, web framework. It's completely fine. But Streamlit would be easy for me to, like you can say, implement because there I'm not going to write any HTML and CSS code. Okay. Then after that, fourth, I'm going to use VectorDB. So VectorDB wise, I'm going to use Fies. Okay. So Fies. So Fies is a VectorDB. So this is for Facebook. Okay. Facebook team has developed this particular VectorDB called Fies. And this is the local VectorDB. Okay. You can also integrate Pinecone, then Web8, ChromaDB. Okay. It's up to you. But I'm going to use Fies. So in future, maybe we'll be creating some other projects. So there actually we can use any other VectorDB. Okay. So these are the tools and technology I'm going to use for this particular projects. And definitely the final tool and platform I'm going to use something called Bedrock. Okay. Bedrock from the AWS. Okay. So Bedrock I'm going to use. And LLM wise, I'm going to use something called Llama 2. As I already told you, I'm going to use Llama 2. Okay. From Meta AI. So this is the LLM I'm going to use. So yes. So this is the tools and technology I'm going to use. Now let me quickly install these are the tools and technology. So what I will do, I'll open up my code and here, let me write down everything one by one. So first of all, I need something called LangChain. Okay. LangChain. Then I need something called PyPDF. Then I need something called Streamlit. Okay. Then I need something called Fies CPU. Okay. So let me save it. Now, first of all, I need to create an environment. So I'll copy this particular command and I'm going to open up my terminal. And let me create this particular environment first of all. So guys, as you can see, my environment is created. Now I have to activate. So this is the command on the activate. So now let's activate also. Now see, I'm inside this Bedrock project. Okay, that means this particular environment. Now I have to install the requirements. So for this, I'm going to execute this particular command. See, now it is installing everything. So it will take some time. Okay, so let's wait. I'll come back once it is done. So guys, as you can see, installation is completed. Now what I have to do, yeah. So now I can start the coding part. So yeah, so make sure, yeah. So now what I will do, I'll go inside this particular research folder. And first of all, I will test this particular Bedrock. Okay, like how we can connect this particular Bedrock and how we can access the model and all. Because I already showed you it is having some foundation model. And if you want to access it, so for this, first of all, you need to do some authentication. So that authentication we have already completed. So let's go inside this particular Amazon Bedrock. Yeah. So now see, these are the models are available. Okay. And I think you already know this Llama 2, then Mistral. So these are the model is also open source model. Okay. So this model is also available in the Hugging Face. Okay. Hugging Face is also having, these are the model. Let's say I want to access Meta Llama model. Okay. So this is the model actually I can see. So all the model actually you have 7B, then 70B, 13B, all the model actually you are having. But if you want to load this particular model, Okay, you have to download this particular model from the Hugging Face itself. Okay, for this you need GPU machine. Okay, you need a GPU machine, and you should have a good memory there. Okay, otherwise you can't actually load this particular model. Even if you have already used this particular model, okay, so you'll see like inference time would be also high because it's a huge model again. Okay, because everything you are running on your local machine. Okay, and then you are executing this at the model. But whenever I'm talking about this particular Amazon Bedrock, so this model actually is already hosted here. Okay, as in API, so you can connect this model through API. Okay, API request. So first of all, you just need to make a client. Okay, with the help of this particular client, you can send a request. That means you can send a prompt and you can get a response. Okay, from this particular model, and this execution time would be very fast. Okay, so for this, if you want to, let's say, create a production grade application, and if you want, let's say, faster inference, okay, at that time you can go with this particular Amazon Bedrock service. Okay, but let's say you have a good instance. Okay, you have a good instance, you have lots of money, you can buy good instance, good GPU configuration machine and all. And if you are not worrying about the faster inference, at the time you can go with these at the model. Okay, you can like manually download this particular model and you can use it. But here we'll be using the client, okay, to access this particular model. And every request actually you'll be sending, okay, will have some of the cost. Okay, now if you want to check the cost also, so you can check it out. Let's say if I want to use Llama model, so Llama is having their like cost. Okay, cost per request. So here you can see the view pricing option. So per token actually it will charge you. Okay, so see, so if you're using this model, Jurassic to Mid model, so let's see the Llama model. I think Llama model is also there. Yeah, Meta Llama. So this is the price per 1,000 tokens. Okay, see, per 1,000 tokens, this is the price actually it will charge. It's like very less. Okay, lesser than your OpenAI, I think. Okay, so there is no like more charge, so you don't need to worry about. So if you want to create a production grade application, so you can go with this particular Amazon Bedrock service. Okay, you can visit that particular pricing page and you can try to understand. Now what I have to do, guys, first of all, let's try to access one particular model, okay, from this particular Amazon Bedrock. So let's say I want to access this particular model called this Jurassic model. Okay, so Jurassic model I want to access. Let's say I want to access this particular model, Jurassic Mid model. So if I want to access this particular model, I have to hit the API request. Okay, so here I have to send the API request, but I'm going to send the API request throughout the Python. Okay, so guys, now let's see how we can use this particular Amazon Bedrock. That means the different actually foundation model. Okay, so first of all, we'll be doing this particular experiment, and if we are able to access this at the model, okay. So next, actually, I'm going to show you how we can create this particular end-to-end RAG application with the help of this particular Amazon Bedrock. So I'll go to my code editor, and first of all, here I'm going to import this Bedrock from the LangChain, because it is already available in the LangChain. Okay, LangChain framework. So we have already installed this particular LangChain. So make sure you have selected the correct environment. So let me refresh. So this is the environment I'm using. Yeah. So LangChain dot you have to import LLMs. Then inside that you have something called this particular service called Bedrock. Now I'm going to import this particular Bedrock class. Okay, so Bedrock. Then I also need something called LLM chain, because here whenever you will be creating that particular QA object, okay, so you need this particular LLM chain. So let's create this particular LLM chain. So from LangChain dot chains. So if you already know about LangChain, I think you already know what is the things actually I'm importing, because these are the requirement actually I'm expecting you are already familiar with this particular LangChain framework. Okay, so chains, I'm going to import something called LLM chain. Then I'm going to import something called prompt template. So here I'm going to write from LangChain dot prompts. Okay, I'm going to import something called prompt template. Then I'm going to import another library called Boto3. Okay, so if you don't know what is Boto3, Boto3 is a library, Python library actually we can use to connect with our AWS account. Okay, but here we haven't installed this particular package, so let me install also. So here I can write Boto3. Now let me open up my terminal. Now again I'm going to install this particular requirements. So installation is completed. Now let's create the client quickly. So with the help of this particular client, actually I'll be accessing the Bedrock. So we have imported Boto3. Then I also need to import Streamlit, okay, because I'm going to create one basics UI for my user. Okay, so that's why it's needed. So let's import it. So import Streamlit as ST. Yeah. Okay, it should be import. Okay, not from. Yeah, now I think everything is fine. Now, first of all, I'll be defining the Bedrock client. Okay, so let's define the Bedrock client. Bedrock client. So for this, I'm going to use this particular Boto3. So Boto3, okay, dot client, and here you have to mention the service actually want to use. So service underscore name. So I want to use this particular Bedrock service. Okay, so you have to write Bedrock underscore runtime. Okay, Bedrock underscore runtime. Then you also need to define the region, like which region actually you want to use in the AWS you are having. I already told you how to check the region. So we are inside this particular US East 1. Okay, so let me also write down this particular region. So I'm inside this US hyphen East hyphen 1. Okay, so this is the region. So yeah, guys, this is my client. So I'll store this particular client in a variable. So let's name it as Bedrock. Okay, Bedrock client. Then I need to write the model ID. Okay, which model actually you want to access from the Bedrock. Okay, so you have to define the model ID. Now how you will get this particular model ID? So again, go back to this particular Bedrock, and I already told you it is having different foundation model. Let's say I want to use this particular Jurassic 2 model. Okay, I'll click here. Now it is having different like variant, Jurassic Ultra and Jurassic Mid. Let's say I want to use this particular Jurassic Mid. I'll click here. Now if you just go below, this is the model ID. Okay, now let's copy this particular model ID. I'll copy and I'll open up my code, and here I'm going to paste it. Okay, so this is the model ID. Now here what I have to do, I have to create a LLM wrapper. So let's create a LLM wrapper. LLM is equal to Bedrock, and inside that, first of all, you have to define the model ID. Okay, model ID. So model ID means the model ID actually we have defined. Okay, this particular model I want to access. Then after that, I have to also define the client. Okay, so client is equal to this Bedrock client we have created. Okay, with the help of this Bedrock client, it will authenticate. And how it will get this particular credential, I think you remember we already set those credential, okay, in the terminal by running that particular AWS configure command. Okay, so it will take the access key and secret access key from there, and it will take by this particular library called Boto3. Okay, Boto3 automatically will take take this particular credential, okay, from the environment. Then what I have to do, I have to define the model keyword. Okay, so let's define the model keyword also. So model arguments. So inside that, I'm going to mention one arguments called temperature parameter. Okay, because this is the parameter we usually tweak a lot actually whenever we are using LLM and all. Okay, so here is the temperature parameter, but it should be defined as a string, right? Then here you have to provide the value of this particular temperature parameter. So let's take 0.9. That means I'm taking close to 1. I'm telling my model just take any risk and try to give a creative output. Okay, whenever you are generating any kinds of let's say output and all. So you can set this particular parameter based on your requirements. So I set 0.9. Now what I will do, I'll create a function here called my chatbot underscore chatbot. Okay, my chatbot. So inside that, actually I'm going to write the final logic. Okay, so it will take the language. I also want to give the language. Okay, language, let's say choice. Let's say you want to generate this particular response in English language, or let's say Spanish language, or let's say Hindi language. Okay, you can give any kinds of language. So you can give this particular parameter as language. Then it will also take the user. Okay, user text, like whatever text user is giving, it will also take that particular input. Then what I have to do, I have to create a prompt template here. So prompt template, I have already imported this particular prompt template. Now inside prompt template, first of all, I need to specify the input variable. Okay, so input variables. Okay, so here input variables, I'm having the language. Okay, language and this user text. Okay, these two actually, I have this input variable. Okay, here. Now what I have to specify, I think I should also close this particular quotation. Yeah. Then I also need to specify my actual template. Okay, so the template is equal to, so here you can give any kinds of, let's say, prompt. So I'll give this kinds of prompt actually. So you are a chatbot, you are in this particular language, and this is the user text. Okay, so this is the prompt I have given to my LLM. Okay, that's how you can define this particular prompt template. Now let's store this particular prompt template in a variable. I'll just name it as prompt. Okay, prompt. Now what I will do, I'll just create a LLM chain. So LLM chain is equal to, I'll define this particular LLM object. Okay, LLM is equal to the LLM wrapper we have created, LLM. Then I also need to give this particular prompt. So prompt is equal to Okay, prompt is equal to prompt we have created. Okay, then I'll store this particular things in a variable. I'll just name it as bedrock. Okay, bedrock underscore chain. Now user will ask the query and they will get the response. So for this, I'm going to utilize this particular bedrock chain I have created. So bedrock chain. So it will take first of all the language. Okay, input as a language, because first of all user will give one language. So it will take that particular language. So language should be language. Okay, then it will also take the user input, user text. So user text should be user text. I think everything is fine. Let's test. Okay, it should be text. Okay, not a test. So that's why this error is coming. User text, and now I think everything is fine. Now the response actually I'll be getting. So it will return me the response. Okay, so I'll return this particular response. So return this response. Yeah. Now this function is ready. Now I can inference on top of the model actually. I'm using here. Now what I will do, I'll create a basics Streamlit. You can say UI. So for this, first of all, I'll give one title, so st.title. So here you can give any name of the application. So here I can write bedrock. Okay, bedrock demo or bedrock test. Okay, bedrock test. I can just write. Then first of all, I'll be taking one. You can say select box here, because user will you can say choose the language. So for this you can use this particular code snippet. So see here I'm creating one like select box, and user will select the language. So here you can add as many as language you can. So I have only added 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Hindi. Okay, you can also add Bengali, then you can also add, let's say I mean like Russian. Okay, anything you can add here, it's up to you. Now what I will do, I'll just write one logic. If user is given any kinds of language, so what you have to do, first of all, you have to take the input from the user. So I'll take this input and I will store in this particular variable user text. Okay, user text is equal to, so here I'm going to create a select text area. Okay, because I'm going to just create a box. Inside that particular box, user will give the input. Okay, so for this you can use st.sidebar. Okay, then you can take something called text area. Okay, text area. Yeah, then inside that you can define the label. That means the quotient actually you want to render here. So I'll give a message, what is your, okay, what is your question. Okay, and you can also define like how many, let's say character user will able to put. Okay, so here you can just define max character is equal to, I will just specify 100. Okay, so 100 character user will put here. Then once it is done, so I also need to check this user text. That means if user has given any kinds of input text, that means the prompt, okay, to the LLM. So what I have to do, first of all, I have to give it to my model. So I'll call this particular function my chatbot. Inside that, first of all, I'll give my language. Okay, the language user has selected. Then I will also provide something called user text. Okay, whatever question actually user is asking, then it will give me the response. Okay, so it will give me the response. Yeah. Then after that, I will write this particular response in the Streamlit. Okay, Streamlit application says t.write, and here I'm going to write this particular response. So I'm going to only extract the text, okay, from the response. So it should be text. Yeah. So I think it should work. Now let's test whether it is working or not. So I'm going to open up my terminal. So let me clear this particular terminal, and I'm going to execute this particular file, this bedrock trials.py. So for this, you have to execute this particular command. Okay, so let me also add this particular command. So if you want to execute the file, so you can write Streamlit. Okay, Streamlit run. This is inside research. Okay, slash. The name of this file is bedrock trials. Okay, .py is the name. Now let's copy the command. I'll open up my terminal and let me execute. Okay, so it is giving one error. It is telling research. Okay, so research spelling is not correct. Let me check. So research. Okay, now I think it's fine. Now let me copy and execute. Okay, now my application is running. Now if I go to my browser, now if I open up my browser, okay, so it will open up one new tab. So this is the tab it has opened. But again, I can see there is an error. So what is the error? So unknown service error. So unknown service bedrock underscore runtime. Okay, so let me check this particular code snippet. So here, okay, so it should be bedrock hyphen runtime. Okay, not a underscore runtime. Now I think it should work. I'll go back and rerun this particular application. Okay, now see, this is my interface. Now you can select any kinds of language. So let's select the English language. Now ask any kinds of query. So I'll ask what is, okay, what is, let's say, what is C++? Okay, what is C++? So now let's see whether it is able to give me answer or not. Now, if you want to execute, you need to press Control and Enter. So here it is giving me the response. C++ is a general programming language. That means, yeah, so it's a correct response. Now you can ask any kinds of query. So you can ask like, what is Python? Okay, and Control Enter. See, it is also giving the response. Now see guys, although I am using this particular model, okay, this large language model, and I'm also using this open source model, okay, Jurassic is also open source model, but the response time is like very fast here because this model is already hosted, okay, over the Bedrock, and we can access this particular model with the help of this particular client. Okay, the client actually we have created. Okay, this particular client we have created. Okay, so that is why actually whenever you want to create any kinds of production grade application and you want to, let's say, get a quick response at that time, you can go with these are the services. But whenever, let's say, you are loading these are the model on your machine, at that time your inference time would be very higher. Okay, like it will take lots of time to execute that particular code. So that's why actually you can use this particular Bedrock, and this is like very scalable. Okay, like it is like very efficient solution whenever you are trying to create any kinds of generative AI application. Now see guys, I already showed you how we can access different model. Now let's say you want to also access meta model. Okay, so what you can do, you can come to the meta and you can take this particular model ID. Now let's say you want to access this particular model, this 70 billion parameter model. So you need to give this particular ID. Okay, so here you just only need to change. So let me show you. If I open up the code, so here you only need to change it, okay, inside the model ID, and everything will remain same. But here only we're doing the inferencing, okay, on top of the model. But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one end-to-end RAG application. Okay, so end-to-end RAG, like you can say, project will be implementing. So what is RAG? So let me give you one idea. So first of all, I'm going to create a architecture, okay, of this particular project I'm going to develop. So here, first of all, what I'm going to do, as I already told you, I'm going to use PDF documents. Okay, let's say I'm having some PDF documents. Okay, PDF docs. Okay, so it can be multiple PDF also, it can be one PDF also, it's up to you. Now what I have to do, first of all, I have to extract the text. Okay, I have to extract, okay, extract data, okay, from this particular PDF. After extracting, what I have to do, I have to create a chunks. I have to create a chunks. Why I have to create a chunks? Because all the model is having their input length. Okay, if I show you, let's say I'm using this Meta Llama 2. Okay, going forward, I'll be using this Meta Llama 2. So Meta Llama 2 is having actually input size. Okay, this token input size. Let me show you. So if I go to the official Meta Llama 2 website, so let's go to the website. So here you can see, guys. So it is having different models: 7 billion, 13 billion, and 70 billion. And if you see here, the context length is 4096 token. Okay. Now what will happen? So whenever you are using any kinds of PDF documents, so if you extract all the data, that means all the documents, okay, from the PDF, you will see sometimes it would be more than 4096 token. Okay, it would be more than 4096 token. At the time, if you give this particular input to the model, okay, to the model, your model will throw input error. So to prevent this kinds of issue, what I have to do, I have to create a chunks. Okay, chunks means I have to create a different chunks. Okay, let's say this is your entire text. Okay, let's say this is your entire text. Okay, this is your entire text. So what he will do, he'll just take a chunks. Okay, chunks of the text. So this is one chunks. This is another chunks. Okay, this is another chunks. Okay, that's how he will be giving to the model. Okay, as input. So different chunks actually you are giving. Instead of taking all the text together, you are giving different chunks. So that time you have to also define the chunk size. Okay, and there is another parameter we can also define called chunks overlap. Okay, so this is the idea of this chunking. Now once this chunks is created, now what I have to do, I have to download one embedding model. Okay, I have to download one embedding model. So in this case, I'm going to use this Titan embedding model. I already showed you. Okay, so embedding model, Titan embedding model. With the help of this particular embedding model, I will convert this particular data to vector embedding. Okay, so vector embedding. Vector embedding. That means numerical representation, vector embedding. Then what I have to do, I have to store this particular vector embedding in a knowledge base. That means in a vector DB. So here I'm going to use something called FIAS. Okay, FIAS is a vector DB. It's a vector DB. Vector DB. Okay, so this is nothing but this is my knowledge base. Knowledge base. Okay. Now what will happen? User will ask some query. So let's say this is the user. So user will ask some query. So let's say this is the query user has asked. So what I have to do, I have to pass this particular query to my knowledge base. Okay. So it will do something called semantic search. Okay, semantic search, semantic index search. I think you already know what is semantic search inside vector DB. Then it will also return some of the rank results. Okay, it will return some rank results. Rank results. Okay, so it will return this particular rank results based on the k parameter. Let's say if k is equal to 3, so it will return only 3 relevant answer. Okay, with respect to the query you have asked. Now what I have to do, I have to connect the LLM. So I'll be collecting the LLM. So in this case, I'm using something called Llama 2. Okay, Llama 2. So I'll feed this particular rank results to the LLM. Okay, then I'll also give the query to the LLM. So LLM will try to understand the query. It will also try to understand the results. That means the answer. Then it will process this particular query answer and it will give you the actual response. Okay, actual response. So response. Okay. So let's say you have asked something related Python. So first of all, it will check in the knowledge base whether I'm having answer related Python or not. If it is having, so it will take most relevant 3 output, okay, from this particular knowledge base. Then it will process, okay, based on the query. Then it will give you the correct response. That means what is Python exactly. Okay, this is the idea. And this is called, okay, this is called RAG application. Okay, RAG pipeline. This is called RAG pipeline. Okay, this is called RAG pipeline. That means retrieval augmented generation. So instead of fine tuning the model, what I'm doing, I'm just adding some additional knowledge, okay, additional information in, okay, information, okay, additional information to the model. Okay, so this is my additional information. So I'm just processing this information, I'm creating the embeddings, okay, and I'm storing in a knowledge base, and I'm connecting, okay, I'm connecting the LLM to the knowledge base, and whatever is user is asking this kinds of query, okay, I'm just like getting the response and I'm showing to the user. Okay, so this is called RAG pipeline. And what is fine tuning? Fine tuning means whenever you will be like say training that particular model, that means you will be changing the weight parameter. That is called actually fine tuning. And fine tuning is like very hard task and it's like very costly task. Okay, so that's why you don't need to perform this fine tuning every time. Okay, first of all, you will be applying this particular RAG concept, and if RAG is working fine, then you will be going with the RAG concept. And if RAG concept is failing somewhere, that time actually you have to perform the fine tuning. So in future actually we'll be also learning how we can perform the fine tuning, okay, on top of the custom data. That thing we'll be also learning. So yes guys, this is the entire architecture of our, like you can say, application. Now I need to code this particular example. So for this I'm going to again open up my code editor. Now here I'm going to open this particular main.py file. So guys, I think you already got the idea how things are working and how we can make the connection with this particular Bedrock and all. So let me just quickly write all the code. So first of all, I need to import some of the library here. So let's import all the library. So these are the libraries are required. Okay, so I'm importing Boto 3 because of that particular, you can say Bedrock. I want to access with the Bedrock. Streamlit I need because I'll be creating the web application. Then I'm also importing something called Bedrock embedding. Okay, because I already told you I'm going to use one embedding model. Okay, from the Bedrock. So Bedrock having also embedding model. So if I show you, let's say Amazon is also having one model called Amazon Titan. Okay, so let me show you. Yeah, Titan embedding G1 text. Okay, this is the model. So this embedding model actually I'm going to use. Okay, that's why I'm importing this particular embedding from the you can say LangChain. Okay, and this is the Bedrock embedding. Then I also need this LLM, that means Bedrock. Then PyPDF directory loader because I'm going to keep some PDF, okay, in the directory. So let me create a directory here. I'm going to name it as data. Okay, and I can name it as PDF data. Okay, PDF data. Inside that I'm going to keep my PDF. So with the help of this particular package, I'm going to load this particular PDF. Then recursive character text splitter. So I already told you something called chunkings. So if you want to perform the chunkings, you have to use this particular method called character text splitter. Okay, recursive character text splitter. Then I also need something called vector DB. So vector DB wise, I'm going to use Fires, and it is already available inside LangChain. And prompt template and retrieval keyway, because I'm going to perform. Then I'm importing this particular retrieval keyway, okay, this particular method, because as I already told you, I'm going to create this RAG application, and on top of the knowledge base, actually, I'll be performing the query operation, okay. So that's why actually this is needed. Now the first thing what you have to do, you have to define one prompt template, okay. So this is the default prompt template I just prepared, okay. So here I've just written, so you human will ask some query, okay. Based on that, you have to return the response, okay, by taking the context, okay. Context means the knowledge base. So this is the prompt template I have created. Now what I have to do, you have to connect the client, okay. So I think you know how to collect the client. So this is the code for the client. So Boto3 client, and you have to provide the service name and the region name. Then what you have to do, you have to get the embedding model. So to get the embedding model, what you can do, you can use this particular Bedrock embedding, okay, Bedrock embedding to load the embedding model. So here is the code, okay. So that's how you can load this particular embedding model. As you can see, Bedrock embedding. Here you have to give the model ID. So Amazon Titan embed text v1. So this is the model actually I'm using. So Amazon Titan embed text v1. Okay, so this is the model ID I'm using. Let me show you. Yeah, so this is the model ID. After that, you have to also assign the client. Okay, the client actually you have created. Then first of all, what I have to do, I have to load this particular PDF documents. Okay, so I don't have any PDF, so let me upload some of the PDFs here. So I'm going to open up the folder, and here I'm going to keep this particular PDF. Okay, so this is one research paper actually, as you can see. So let me show you. This is one research paper, and the name of the research paper is Development of Multiple Combined Regression Method for Rainfall Measurement. Okay, so this is the research paper actually I have given here. So you can give any kinds of research paper, any kinds of PDF here, any kinds of PDF documents. It's up to you. Okay, so I already have this in my system. That's why I'm giving this particular PDF. Now let's see how we can extract these are the PDF text. Now what I will do, I have already created one function. So let me show you. So inside main.py, here I can mention this particular function called get documents. Okay, so first of all, I will load this particular PDF. Okay, as you can see, so here I need to give the path of the PDF, copy the name. Yeah, so this is the folder. Inside that, actually whatever PDF actually you are having, it will load everything. Then after that, I'm performing this recursive text splitter. That means I'm performing this chunking operation. Okay, so as you can see, so this is the chunkings actually I'm doing. After extracting the documents, I'm performing this chunking operation. That means it will create the chunks, different chunks, and this is the chunk size. That means it will take 1000 character, okay, in one chunks. Let me show you. So let's say whenever it will create this particular chunks, it will consider thousands character, okay, thousands tokens in a one chunks. Okay, so that's why you have to give this particular chunk size. And chunk overlap means how much overlap actually you want from the previous, okay, from the previous, like you can say chunks you have created. Okay, so this is called chunks overlap. Now once this is done, then you have to apply this particular split document. That means it will perform the chunking. Then after that, I'm just returning the documents. Then I also need to load the vector. Okay, so to load the vector, you can execute this particular function. Let me show you. You can load this particular function called get vector store. Now it will take the documents actually you have extracted. Now here I'm using this files. Okay, files vector db, as you can see, files, and I'm initializing the files. I'm giving this particular documentation, the documentation I have extracted, and I'm also giving the vector embedding. Okay, the vector embedding I have initialized. Okay, bedrock embedding. Then what it will do, it will automatically take those other documents and it will convert to vector representation. Okay, and it will save inside my local system with the help of this particular name. Okay, files index. Now once it is done, I also need the LLM object. Okay, so I have created another function called get LLM. So here I'm initializing this particular, you can say LLM. Now if you see, I'm using Meta Llama 2. Okay, so now if I show you my bedrock, now if I go to the overview and I'm using this Llama 2 and I'm using this particular model, Chat 7 billion model. Okay, now this is the model ID. Okay, just copy and here you can paste it. Okay, here you can mention now client, and here you can give the model arguments. Okay, now here I have given max gen length. Okay, that means how much actually like let's say tokens you want to get as an output, okay, from the LLM. So here I've given 512. Okay, that is 512 token it will give me as an output. And after that, I'm just returning the LLM. Then what I have to do, I have to create the prompt template. So I think you remember we already defined the you can say prompt here. So prompt template. Now here I'm just defining the template. Okay, inside the template I'm just defining these other thing. Now input variable should be context and question, because here I have mentioned, okay, question and context. Now once it is done, I have to create the response function, because here it will take the input and it will give you the response. Okay, so this is the simple response function. So it will take the LLM, that means large language model, and vector store, that means your files and query. Now first of all, it will create this particular retrieval QA object. Okay, inside that it will take the LLM. Then chain type is stub because I'm going to create a simple chain. That's why, because in LangChain there are so many chain type you can explore over the documentation. Now retriever object means your knowledge base. Okay, here I'm using the files, as you can see, vector store files and as retriever, and I'm performing similarity search. Okay, and this is the this rank result parameter, that means k is equal to 3. It will return only 3 okay relevant answer. Then I'm just returning okay this particular source document as well. Then you also need to give the prompt template you have created here. Then you need to ask the query. Okay, the query actually user will give, and whatever answer actually will get, I'm just returning this particular answer. Okay, then here I just need to create a simple user application. So first of all, I'm going to create a new main method. Let me show you. So this is the main method. So here first of all, I've given one title, that's a RAG demo, and here I've given the name of the project, end-to-end RAG application. Okay, then here I'm just giving one input. Okay, input text. Okay, text input from the user. So user will ask any kinds of query from the PDF itself. Now first of all, what I have to do, okay, let's say if you want to ask any question on top of the knowledge base, first of all you have to build a knowledge base. That means you have to execute this particular function called get vector store. Okay, but before that you have to execute this particular function called get documents. That means it will extract the documents. After that it will store as a embedding. Okay, so I have to execute these two functions. So for this I'm going to create one button here. Okay, so let me show you. So here I'm going to create one button, as you can see. So here I'm creating one slide bar, and here I've given update or create a vector store. Now if someone is clicking on this particular button, store vector, first of all it will run this particular document, that means this particular function, and it will extract the documentation, and whatever documentation actually I'm getting, okay, sorry, whatever documentation actually I'm getting from here, I'll be passing inside this particular function called get vector store. Okay, as you can see, get vector store, this documentation I'm passing. Then once it is done, I'm just sending the success message. Then if my knowledge base is created, that means vector store is created, now I'll be performing the question answer on top of it. Okay, so again I'm going to create another function. I think it should be inside this particular if statement. Yeah, so again I've created another function called send. Okay, send button. So whatever user will give the query, so whatever user will give the query here, okay, first of all what I have to do, I have to load my knowledge base. Okay, as you can see, I'm loading the knowledge base, files.load actually I'm doing, and this is the index name. Then I also need to give the embedding object. Then you also need to give this particular parameter called allow dangerous deserialization is equal to 2. Okay, if you are using this file, so this is the parameter you have to pass, because I saw from the documentation they are also using this particular parameter. Then I need to load my LLM. Okay, that means I already created one function to load the LLM. So as you can see, get LLM object. Okay, then after that, here is the final function I'm calling. So get LLM response, and it will take this LLM vector store and query. So LLM vector store and query, the query actually user is asking, and I'm just writing the response. Okay, whatever response actually I'm getting, I'm writing on top of the Streamlit. Okay, now let's see whether it's working or not. So to execute this particular file, you need to run this command. So let me also mention this command. So it should be Streamlit run main.py. Okay, because I'm going to run this particular main file. Now let me copy the command, and I'm going to open up my terminal. So this is the terminal. Now I'm going to stop the previous execution. Let me clear, and let me execute this particular file. Now again this is running. So if I go back and I will close the previous one, and this is the new one, it has loaded. Okay, I'm not getting anything because let me check my code. Main.py. Okay, so this main actually I'm not calling. Okay, so I need to also define this particular main function in this particular if statement. Okay, if underscore name underscore main, then I'm going to access these are the code. Okay, now I think it should work. I'll go back and rerun this particular code. So guys, now as you can see, I got my interface. Now first of all, I need to store the vector. Okay, because I need to extract the documents, I need to store the knowledge base. So let's click on this particular store vector. So once it is done, you will see the success message. So guys, as you can see, the execution is done. Now if I show you my code, left hand side you can see it has created this particular index. Okay, that means here actually it has stored all of my vector, but it is in a pickle format. Okay, because you can't visualize these are the vector. again it's a local vector DB. Okay, if you want to see that particular vector, you can use Pinecone. Okay, Pinecone or Webit. There actually you can visualize these are the vector, like how it is look like and all. Now what I will do, I'll ask some of the queries. So let's ask query with respect to the PDF actually I'm having. So let me open the PDF. So let's say I'll be asking related this particular rainfall measurements. Okay, so rainfall measurements. I'll copy this particular term, and here I can ask. So tell me about rainfall measurements. Now if I just I think I need to click on the send button. Okay, now I think it should work. Now guys, let me ask another query. So I'll ask tell me about methodology. Tell me about methodology of the paper. Now guys, here is the response I got. So guys, here is the response I got. The paper compares the performance of the various regression models for the rainfall prediction, and the methodology involves the comparing of the performance of different regression model statistical metrics such as R2 score, MAE, MSC, and RMSC. Okay, if you read this particular paper, you will see the same thing actually. They are also explaining about this particular paper and all. That means it is working fine. Okay, now not only this particular paper, you can place any kinds of actually PDF here in this particular folder. Okay, any kinds of PDF, any kinds of PDF books, and you can again click on this particular button. So let me show you. So this is my application. You can again click on this particular button. That means store vector. It will again store those new vector. That means new text, and it will create a new knowledge base. And on top of that, you can perform the question answer. Okay. So this is like awesome application actually you can create with the help of this particular AWS Bedrock. Okay. Not only this model, you can also use Mistral AI. Okay. You can also use this particular Stability AI. Okay. You can try these are the model at least. Okay. After this particular, you can say video, you can try with different model, and you can create different application on top of it. So yeah, guys, this is all about from this particular video. I hope you got the entire understanding how we can create a different actually application, how we can create a, you can say, end-to-end RAG application with the help of this particular AWS Bedrock. So here you can explore this particular playground as well as the model actually, different foundation model you can export, and you can create different application. Okay. So yes, guys, this is all about from this particular video, and this is like awesome actually platform they have developed. If you see the inference execution time, actually it's like very fast, although I'm using like bigger model. Let's say I used Metal model, this particular 70 billion parameter model, and my execution time was like very fast there. Okay, but if you're loading this particular model on your system, you will see you will get lots of difficulty there. Okay, so yes, guys, this is all about from this particular video. I hope you like this particular video. So thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.